Hello, my name is Paige and welcome to my channel, Paperbacks and Lattes. This is my June wrap-up. I read 17 books for the month of June and I DNF'd one. I'll go ahead and let you know my DNF. It was Chef's Kiss by TJ Alexander. I borrowed this from Hoopla and the audiobook, and I just didn't really connect with the main character. I felt like she was just a really unlikable character, and I wasn't really vibing with the way that she did things because she had like a trans roommate, and some of the things she said just really seemed not correct. So I wasn't enjoying this book, and I've been trying to tell myself if I'm not enjoying certain books, it is okay to DNF. There's so many other books out there that I can enjoy, so I just went ahead and DNF this one. The first book that I did read for June was 7 Year Itch by Emmy Daws. I rated this one 3 stars. It was just an okay story. I love Emmy Daws' writing. She is hilarious, and I really did like the first book in this series. I cannot remember the series right off the name. It's something mountain series, but we're following these group of brothers who live on this mountain. And in this book, we have the playboy brother. This is an enemies to lovers romance. They meet because the hero in this story is his sister-in-law's best friend. So he has had some contact with her over the years. Plus, he and his brothers were hired to help renovate her house, or build it or renovate it. And he kind of was heading the project, and something happened. And so they've had these things happen and where they just hate each other, and the hate just went a little too far in my opinion. Really, enemies to lovers is not my favorite trope. I know it's super popular amongst many readers, and that is perfectly fine, but it's just not my style. I hate it when they hate each other, so I just didn't vibe with this book, and I rated it 3 stars. Next, I read an ARC that I got from NetGalley. This is Emmaline by Kristin Coar. And I also rated this one 3 stars as well. This is a fantasy romance, and we follow Emmeline. She's like a witch, some sort of witch, and she believes that she has found her soulmate, like the one that's destined for her, and it's very rare to happen. And she believes that she has found hers, but of course it is with the most despicable man ever. And there is actually some, there's a trigger warnings in here for on page SA, so just be careful when reading this book, that there's a lot that happens, and the romance really is a very small part of it. The man that she is actually soulmated with is so wonderful to her. I just feel like she doesn't really give him the time of day, and it could have been so much better than what it was, but it was an okay story. I did include it in a ARC reading vlog that I did, and I rated it 3 stars. And then I read The One That Got Away by Nicky James. I love Nicky James. She writes phenomenal stories, and this was yet again such a good one by her. This is an MM romance, and we are following 2 heroes. One hero is a police officer. He's almost to the point of being fired, and so he is assigned this really job that nobody wants, and that is to pretty much just give a reassurance to this guy who has a lot of trauma. When he was kidnapped when he was 12 years old, and the police actually rescued him from this horrible thing that happened to this guy, and so they think that he has a lot of mental health issues, and he has a lot of paranoia. He's often coming to the police with issues because he thinks people are following him and whatnot, and so they just, they don't really take him seriously until this cop is assigned to listen to his complaints, and then he realizes, hey, there might be more to the story than what everyone thinks, and it is a romantic suspense, and I loved it so much, and I rated this one 5 stars. The next one I read is Father Material by Alexis Hall. This is the 3rd book in his London Calling series, and of course I loved it. I love Alexis Hall's writing anyway. He writes quirky, lovable characters in his books, and I love them every single time. This is the 3rd installment, and we are following Oliver and Luke. So we began when they are in boyfriend material, and then husband material, and now they are together in father material, and they're thinking about growing their family and having children. They enter into the foster world as foster dads, and I love seeing them in that aspect. It was just so great seeing Oliver and Luke again in this third installment, and of course I rated it 5 stars. The next book that I read was Three Kings by Freydis. This was such a lovely atmospheric read. This is an romance, and I don't remember the two heroes' names, but one is a captain like of a boat, and he goes out and like fishes and then the other one, he is a witch, and they're already an established couple, they're married, and the one who is a witch, he is also trans. And a captain rescues this seal shifter, and he brings him home because he is really badly injured. He had actually died, and so the witch brings him back to life, and they, tend to his injuries and everything. And this was their romance of introducing a third into their marriage, and it was really lovely. I love this one, and I rated it 5 stars. The next one is also another arc that I had received from NetGalley, and it's Two Lives with You by Lauren Ho. We are following a couple, this man and a woman. They are already married and have several children, and she is working as a nurse full-time, just super burnout with life and burnout with her husband and her family. She's just so overwhelmed and burnt out. Her husband lost a job. He's now a stay-at-home dad. So of course they're having financial difficulties, and it's just, life is a lot, and they have drifted apart. And this being, comes to her and offers her a chance to see what life would be like if she hadn't married her husband. And her husband takes this same deal. They didn't know that each other had taken a deal until they met again in their alternate lifetime. This was such an interesting aspect, to a book. I have never really read anything like this. It's definitely more, I think, women's fiction than romance. They do, have a romance between each other. This was an audiobook, and I was really interested and intrigued with the story, so I gave it 4 stars. The next one that I read was Edge Jump by A.A. Fairview. This is an romance where we have a younger guy. He is in college. He's an ice skater, and he's training to be in the Olympics. And then the other hero is a Minotaur hockey coach, and he coaches hockey at the same school, the same college that the younger hero attends. So this is their romance. Of course, it's forbidden because they kind of meet on this hookup app, and then they realize who each other are, and they long to be with each other and kind of do it in secret. And this was really a fun romance to read, and I rated it 4 stars. And then the next book I read was an audio. This was the 710 Split by Karmen Lee. I listened to this through Hoopla, and I rated it 3 stars. I have read the 3rd book in the series. This series revolves around 3 sisters, and they're all sapphic romances. And I really did love the last book that I read, following one of the sisters, but this one was just okay. Again, it's kind of enemies to lovers, and it's just not really my favorite trope. And we follow these 2 heroines who knew each other back in school, and they were each on their bowling team for their school. And something happened between them. They really liked each other, and they were just kind of getting around to admitting that for each other when something happens, and then they don't see each other until later on in life. And they basically don't like each other, and I just felt like the reasons why they didn't like each other were very minimal, and I just felt like it could have been a better storyline because I just wasn't convinced. And so it was just mediocre, and I really was hoping to like this better than what I did, so I rated it 3 stars. The next book that I read was To Catch a Firefly by Emmy Sanders, and absolutely adored this book. I loved it so much. This is an romance, and we meet them when they're like 9-10 years old at the start of the book, so they meet when they're children. This boy named Lucky, he comes to live, his dad got a new job, they come to live in this new house, and he meets the next door neighbor, and he doesn't speak. I forget his name, but he has autism, and he doesn't speak a lot. He just has trouble with that, with communicating. So, but as soon as they meet, they are inseparable. The two heroes just simply adore each other and are each other's world. And even when Lucky leaves to go off to college and then off on his career in life, he never forgets our other hero. They are each other's person. They are each other's anchor in life, and I love that. I love when there's yearning and longing and romance, and these two heroes long for each other so much. The definition of romance, and I rated this one 5 stars. The next book I read was an arc, and I was so excited to receive this arc. I actually applied for this arc from the author, and I was so excited to receive this. And this is Hooded by Claire Kent. This is the 3rd book in her post-apocalyptic fairy tale series. As you know, Claire Kent does wonderful on the apocalyptic stories. Love Claire Kent's storytelling. I love her writing, and I love dystopian apocalypse type stories anyway. So I've always loved Claire Kent's Kindled series, and this is kind of adjacent to her Kindled series. But each book loosely revolves around like a fairy tale. We have our heroine named Jill. She is a server at this pub and also a sex worker, and because this is what she does to survive. She made a deal with the owner. It's really hard to survive in this type of world after an apocalypse has happened. And then we meet our hero Cade, and he has been, coming by regularly just to eat at this pub. But then Jill kind of asking, why don't we take things further? And so it was kind of at her insistence how their relationship did progress. But he has secrets of his own, and he doesn't feel like he can include her in his life fully. He falls in love with him and doesn't really realize why they can't be together. And of course things happen in this type of world. It's very dangerous things happen, and he rescues her, and I love those types of situations. And so I rated this one 5 stars. Then I had another arc from NetGalley, and this is A Treason of Magic by Melissa Marr. This is a sapphic romance between a hunter and a duke. So the hunter is passed down, it's like hereditary, it's passed down from father to son in every generation. She is inheriting this role of hunter. The two heroines had a relationship in the past, but they weren't allowed to be together. So now they have this opportunity to be together, but she is now hunter, and the other heroine is now a duke. And so there is also a mystery of some fae or some being in this, because it's a romantasy, in their realm and kingdom, who is killing people, and so she as hunter has to figure it out. And this was their romance, and I enjoyed it. It was a solid romance, and I rated it 4 stars. The next book that I read is The Marriage Rebound by Meka James. This was also another arc that I received from NetGalley, and this is a sapphic romance, and it was solid romance as well. I rated it 4 stars. This is a marriage in trouble, so the two heroines are already an established couple. They married, and one of the heroines, Courtney, is a basketball player. She plays for the WNBA, so she has gone a lot, of course, with the basketball team. And her wife Sasha is at home a lot and just feeling really left out and alone. And so they both need things from each other. Courtney is trying to create this life, give Sasha everything that she wants, and she's really stressed out about it. And Sasha just wants Courtney home. And so they both have different love languages, and I rated this one 4 stars. The next one that I read is What is Love by Ashley and Rostek. This is the first of a duet, and this is a Why Choose romance. I loved it. I rated it 5 stars. So we have this heroine who has been badly abused by her mother. And, she feels like she can't escape. She is stuck with her mother. She lives on the upper side of the bridge where the rich people live, and then we have our heroes who live on the south side of the bridge. She isn't supposed to be talking with them or hanging out or anything, but one of the heroes does have a scholarship to go to her high school, and so that is how they know each other. One of the heroes starts befriending her, and they kind of figure out as they go along that something's not right. And so she meets him and his friends, and this is their love story, and of course it continues on in So This Is Love, and this is the last part of the story where we wrap up their, you know, their romance, and I love this duet so much, and I rated both of them 5 stars. And then I began a new series by Stunich. I have been waiting for her to finish the series so I can begin it, because I despise starting a series and then it not being finished. So oftentimes I do not read the books that I really, really want to read because the series aren't finished, and I just need to be able to binge the series. I hate waiting for the next book to arrive. So if I can help it, I try not to start any unfinished series. But I finally started this because she finally wrote and released the rest of the series. So I read the first book in this Scarlet Force series, and it is F-Boy Psychos. I of course rated this 5 stars. We follow Scarlet Force and her band of girls at her school. Now, if you have read Havoc by C.M. Stunich, this series predates Havoc. Scarlet and her boys predate Havoc. So if you do like Havoc, you will really love this series as well. Scarlet rules the school. She is the queen of school, and this is a why choose. And she starts, you know, having a thing with one of the guys at school, and then we start meeting the heroes as they come along. There's these murders that are happening and these people that are trying to take over their town. So throughout the series, you'll see like her along with all of her boys and the things that they have to do to solve like these murders and mysteries. So I rated that one 5 stars, and then I immediately started reading the next book in the series, which is Unholy Terrors, and I also rated this one 5 stars. I'm just really enjoying this series. It's really fun, addictive, wild series to read. I really did like Havoc, and this has a lot of those vibes. The heroine of this series is such a badass heroine. She rules. Like, she rules everybody. Everyone answers to her, even all of her boys. And also another aspect of this book, huge aspect of this book, is that they race cars, and she is like the greatest driver and racer, and they have these old cars in this book, and I've really been enjoying that aspect. I've just been having a lot of fun with the series, and I'm going to continue that series into July as well. So those are all 17 books that I read in the month of June. Let me know what you were able to read or what your favorite read of June was. And of course, I will see you in my next video. Bye.